So, yeah, more Christmas. Again, I'm just doing them both in today because I forgot to record it yesterday. So let's go. 2 videos anyway, though. Still gonna do the 2, split them up. Because I do believe there is a difference and a different feel. So you have Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3. So, through this trilogy, because originally I wasn't going to watch it, I heard a bit about it, at least the first one, and I know about Jack Frost being a thing. But that's it. That's all I knew of it. It was like, oh, okay, this is a thing. But I didn't watch it because like, oh, don't think I'm going to like it. And I'm like, it's actually good. The first one's hilarious, and it brings like the fun comedy, and it's just overall fun and interesting. And if you compare the trilogy as 3 continuous things, it's like a good intro to like how the world works. It's more like simpler. You get more of like just the family that exists and the real world ran the magical world. The second and definitely the third sort of like move that forward. So I'm gonna go back to the first one. But the first one's like a good like intro into like, oh, here's how it works, and here's like what it basically is. And I know a lot of people go, it's basically like Christmas and a better version of what Hop tried to do, whereas like, oh, you're just trying to introduce, but like this is done better. Even though I like Hop, Hop's just weirdly enjoyable for me. But this is just fun, entertaining, and just really interesting. And when you go on to the sort of like the next one, which is Santa Claus 2, you're sort of building up. One of my favorite scenes in this, and it's slight spoilers, is when you get like the meeting with all the people who's like, here's presents, because you knew that like one of them, the person there, is like, I've just wrapped up a bunch of boxes and that's it. And then it's like, oh well, here's the presents. Who wanted as kids? They're not boxes anymore. And it sort of like goes forward and it's really interesting. And then you obviously have Santa Claus 3, which again is just fun. And this was the one that really like amps up sort of like the festivity and brings together sort of like the people and brings them together into this sort of like, it's like, oh, here's the thing. Because they didn't bring it up before, but it was like, oh yeah, but what about like stuff like Easter, if Christmas, and like you have like the Easter, and you have like live, and you have this, and you have like all of them. It's like, oh yeah, those. And it's like funny, interesting, and I just like Jack Frost, and it's like really funny, and just I think it's just a really good. The one thing I love is I don't really watch much of the credits. Too much. Definitely in some of the older films. Because then they did like a really good intro and then the credits were like, here's credits. Nowadays you kind of get a bit of both. You get like an intro and then an outro, which are both good. But the outro of this is just like bloopers. And I will live for that. I will live for that. That stuff is just the funniest in my opinion. So yeah. This is sort of like the 3 movies.